Lillian DeGraffenreid from Pathway Foster Care. I know all of you have really been wondering what it's really like to be a foster parent, so we're going to be talking to some of our foster parents to let them tell you what it's really like. This is Kathy Beckley, and Kathy is a professional parent with the Pathway program. Kathy, tell me, how did you even get started thinking about becoming a foster parent?
Well, a friend of mine is a foster parent with Pathway, one of the other professional parents. And I was working outside the home at the time, and she told me that, this would be a good way that I could be helping other children. And I would be able to stay at home with those kids to care for them and be home with my own kids at the same time. And I thought that sounded like a real good idea, so I checked into it.
Did you really know about the population of children that Pathway served?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
We serve very difficult children who need therapeutic foster care. So what's it been like for you? What's the experience been like?
It's been challenging at times. It's been very rewarding. I've learned a lot. The classes that we went through have helped to deal with these kids and also with my own.
Do you think that you get enough support to be able to do this very challenging job with these difficult children?
Yeah, I do. Pathway is a wonderful program, and the support is there. I feel like we have help anytime we need it.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Would you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
That's great. Well, we'll be back in just a moment to talk to another foster parent. We're talking to Lillian Dennis, who is a Pathway foster parent. Lillian, how did you first hear about Pathway?
I first heard about Pathway, it was through a TV advertisement.
Oh, just like now.
Mm-hmm. I saw you on TV.
How long have you been a Pathway foster parent?
I've been a Pathway foster parent for 3 years now.
And how many children have you had?
I've only had one.
And is he still with you?
He's still with me.
Oh. Mm-hmm. How has your experience been with Pathway?
Very rewarding. I've learned a lot of things and, introduced myself to a lot of different things that I weren't familiar with in raising my own children, and I got a lot of understanding on different programs and things that you have going on in Pathway.
Has this experience been different than raising your own children? How many children have you raised?
3 children.
And was this experience being a foster parent different in some ways?
Yes, pretty much so.
How so, do you think?
Well, because the child came into the home with a lot of problems. When you're a parent and you're raising your children, you know pretty much what you're dealing with. But this was a new experience because when he came with problems.
And did you find it difficult for your family to adjust to some of the problems that he brought?
At first we did.
But you kind of got used to it?
Yeah.
He's still with you.
Yes.
Well, what kind of support has Pathway given you? Do you think that you have been equipped to do the job you've been asked to do?
Yes, Pathway's offered a lot of training courses that we have taken, and we've had an opportunity to learn a lot from these courses because there were very informative in letting us know what we were going to deal with the problem child and different things that we would have encountered with Pathway.
Thanks for sharing your experiences with us, and we'll be back. And we're back with Marge Bowman, who is another Pathway professional parent. Marge, what do you think has been your most challenging experience with the Pathway program?
Oh, it's a lot of challenging times. The behaviors of these kids are just very challenging. And when you try to help them and then you have one of your children run away, it's very frustrating.
You've had a child that ran away from home?
Yes, and that's frustrating when they've come so far and then you lose them. But I guess the challenging part is trying to keep them there and keep them stabilized and keep them as part of your family.
Marge, you have children of your own, don't you?
I've got 2 grown children, 21 and 23, and I have 2 smaller children, 8 and 9.
How have they adjusted in terms of having these difficult children come to live with you and become a part of your family?
The younger ones, it has been an adjustment for them because they have to get used to the different behaviors because we've had a lot of different kids in our home. But they do see how lucky they are to have a loving family and how unlucky some of these kids are to not have a lucky, a loving family. So I think they feel really happy about being loved as much as they are.
Do you think that this experience has had a negative impact of any kind on them?
No, not at all. I think they appreciate their surroundings and what they have, and they just appreciate how lucky they are to have parents that are so good to them and loving. And
so you feel that the fostering experience has overall been a good one for your family?
Yes, the whole family.
Thank you so much, Marge, for coming and being with me this afternoon to tell about your fostering experience. And Pathway's phone number is 493-0083.